Good Monday afternoon, everybody. It is Monday, March the 12th, and welcome to Bethea's Bite Reloaded, your home for news, opinions, debates, your voice, and justice served. I am Ernest Bethea, the last outlaw. So good to have everybody here. Today is what I like to call a mental health break Monday. And Arctic Fox, the first one in the chat. How you doing, buddy? First one in the chat. Let me go ahead and give him a link if I can, and so he can jump up on the panel if possible. All you have to do, Fox, is just copy this and paste it in a new window or tab, and we can talk shop, we can not talk shop. This is, like I said, this is a mental health break Monday. Oh wow, come on in. Who else we got? Where the wind blows. How you doing? Come right in. Come right in. More than happy to have you. As I was saying, today is a mental health break Monday, which means you can talk about whatever you want, whatever's on your mind at this moment. You can talk shop, you cannot talk shop. What's good, Fox?
What's up?
How's it going, man?
It's going. I need a mental health break after some of the stuff I've covered this week.
Like I said at the beginning, or at least I said it in my mind. I want to say it out loud. Let Bethea's Bite Reloaded be your escape for at least an hour or so. And let me tell you, I know a number of creators besides ourselves who need a mental health break. Ay,
And a
ay,
couple
ay.
that need a mental health evaluation, but that's another story.
We'll talk about that later. Oh my god! What I mean, I swear there are days when we see some of these similar stories we cover, be it straight true crime or missing persons. We are constantly asking ourselves, what in the hell did we get ourselves into?
I'm telling you, I mean, on the upside, though, there's been some wins this week. There have been two
I know,
cases
right?
where people were found after being missing for many, many years. Today, there was a little girl that went missing from Texas, found in North Carolina after she had been groomed online and went missing. So, you do have those wins, and you have to take the wins with the losses. So.
hmm Where the wind blow, where the wind blows is still wondering how we do. How she doesn't know how we do it. Look, for a lot of us, we literally and figuratively have the patience of Job.
Well, and you have to know your limitations. I mean, it does get to you. And, when I feel that I just can't take anymore, I'll get in my car and go for a long drive or do something that I enjoy to kind of, take a mental health break from all that I've covered in the week. Because, for people like me that already suffer from PTSD, covering these stories, I'm not gonna lie, is traumatizing. So,
It is.
you have to find coping mechanisms in order to be able to do it. So,
Yeah. One of the great missing person stories I've heard. I don't have all the actual names and whatever, but there was a woman who was found alive after being missing for 30 years.
yeah, there's been a
And
couple of those here recently.
Well, hey, we got another good friend of ours
Hey,
on
Avery.
this. All right, I just gave her the link to join us as well. So if hopefully she'll join us in this conversation as well in this mental health break. I mean, I'm still a little bit on the anxiety side myself after after recording, and I believe you covered this one too. The Texas mom who stabbed her kids, 3 dead, 2 fighting for their lives at last check,
Yep, I sure did.
and she's currently behind bars, held on a $6 million bond. Got to be
Well, at
got
least
got
it's
you
a
got to
high
you know,
bond. I mean, honestly, there
it's
shouldn't
only
be.
such
Well, I
it's
mean, there
only such a
shouldn't be
high
any
bond because I agree. I totally agree. But the only reason it's such a high bond is because those 3 out of the 5 children died. God forbid if the other 2 go, that bond goes from 6 to 10.
Well, and again, like I said, there shouldn't be any bond. Just like that case that I was talking about, where the girl was groomed online and she was found in North Carolina. They gave that guy a $1.25 million bond, which I think is too low. But the chances of him coming up with that type of money are astronomical. So that's good, at least.
And yep, we were talking over each other, and Avery's putting us on blast for that. Sorry about that, Avery. Oh man, that's what happens when we're both trying to get a point out. We're both trying to get a point out, and it's like we gotta get this in. We gotta get this in before we forget it. Yeah, it was funny. I'll admit that. I admit that. Uh
I can't speak for anyone else, but at my age, I got to get it out. Otherwise, I will forget it. That old age is creeping up on me. So,
so we got joining us in here. Avery,
Hey, can you hear me
how you doing,
okay?
sweetheart? Absolutely, we just fine. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
All right, all right.
doing
Like I
good.
said at the top, you can talk shop, you cannot talk shop. This is a mental health break.
Oh, wow.
Whatever's
Mental
on your
health break.
chest,
Definitely need a
whatever's
mental
on
health.
your
Definitely need a
here we go
mental health
again.
break.
Mm. Well, like I said, if whatever's on your mind, whatever's on your chest, speak on it. It can be sharp, it cannot be sharp.
Well, I
We're
mean, if
just
we're
on.
going to allow shop stuff, I got to bring up the fact that in the past 2 weeks, I've covered no less than 3 or 4 missing people that have gone missing while riding the Greyhound bus line. Something is
Really?
up.
Okay,
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know about, I hadn't heard anything about that. Wow.
like like we say on the streets, Fox, talk your talk.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're going missing from different places. Like the one I covered today, he is missing out of the Kansas area, from Wichita, Kansas. But they
Uh-huh.
are missing from different locations. I've covered a couple that went missing in Tennessee, some from North Carolina, and it's
Mm.
ridiculous. And I'm beginning to wonder if we have some type of Greyhound bus serial killer or something going on. Just to be honest.
Uh,
Wow. Hey, none of them
I
are
hope to
named
God.
Omar Winder, are they? I know he's a traveler from those areas, always on the Greyhound.
No, I haven't covered anyone named Omar.
Dang, that's scary. I'm scared to get on a Greyhound bus anyhow. I can't think if I've ever been on one. maybe for like a trip to Laughlin or something, but not for travel. I'd be too scared.
I told someone the other day, I don't care if someone offered me a brand new freaking Ferrari to get on a Greyhound bus. At this point, I wouldn't do it. It's not worth it.
Right?
I haven't been on a Greyhound bus in a long time. The last time I was on a Greyhound bus, I was just moving from North Carolina to Oregon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I haven't been on a Greyhound bus since, shortly after I got out of high school. You know those freaking grifting cleaning companies or the magazine companies that prey on young people just getting out of high school to go door to door selling their shit? Well, I got sucked into one of those. And we traveled. We traveled. Huh?
Were you selling vacuum cleaners?
No, I was selling a cleaning product called Wipeout. And it's like this. You know that one cleaning product that's at Dollar Tree that everyone swears by, the orange scented stuff that's in the clear bottle?
Yeah.
Well, that's basically what this stuff was. And we were selling this shit for like $30 a quart bottle of it. And yeah, because it would, we told people, it'll do everything. Well, I mean, it worked, but it wasn't the end all be all. Quite honestly, OxyClean's 10 times better than what that shit is. But
that yellow stuff from Dollar Tree, that is some good stuff, though.
It is good stuff.
I've been researching this case. It's a solved case, but because I'm going to do a video on it. Well, I'm going to finish my video on it today, but this is kind of crazy, but it's this girl named Bianca Devins, and her boyfriend killed her just a few years ago, but he live streamed it. She was 17 years old, and he live streamed it, and he decapitated her on the live stream. And anyhow, during my research of this, I ended up connecting with some of her family members. And do you know that even though like all the pictures and videos and stuff have been pulled down off of the internet, people who screenshot them are still finding ways to contact her family, like her mom and her younger sisters, and they will just get like a random message or a random email and open it, and boom, there's the picture of Bianca with her head almost to get. Yes, and so like the younger kids are.
50 Shades of wrong. That is 50 Shades of wrong.
Yeah. So the younger kids are, they're being treated for PTSD and everything. But here's the kicker of it all. The guy who did it, so he slit his own throat too, but it was a botched attempt. He lived, and he got 25 years to life. That's what his sentence was. So he will be up for parole in 25 years.
That is crazy. How in the world does he get parole when he sits there and cuts someone's head off on live social media?
I know. That's what I said.
That should be life. Period. Forget 25 years. That should be life.
Life without parole, but no,
Absolutely.
So the family. The family was talking about how they're planning, to be at every parole hearing, to make sure that he doesn't get back out. But that just blew my mind when I got to the sentencing part.
Oh, wow. What state did this happen in, Avery?
It was in Utica, New York.
Oh, wow.
I think it's Utica, Utica.
Yeah,
I think it's Utica.
That's upstate.
Yeah. Yep, Utica, New York. So he was, I think, 19 or 21 when he got sentenced. So he won't even be 50 by the time he gets his first parole hearing. That's scary.
That's wild. That's wild. Oh, speaking of somebody doing 25 to life, I just got finished putting this one on the Justice Serve file. Does the name Paul Ruben Flores ring any bells?
That does sound familiar.
Yep.
Paul Flores.
All right, I'm gonna pull another name out. Kristen Smart.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Her
Okay.
killed. That's who killed her. Right?
Ding.
Paul Flores.
Got it.
And he just got sentenced, didn't he? Just the other day.
25 to life.
That's what I think.
And
Yeah.
and to this day, the body has never been recovered. And
Yep.
she had been declared legally dead since 2002.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other one that blew my mind the other day when I seen his sentencing 25 to life. I was like, what is going on here? You can't put these people back out on the streets.
Now,
In 25 years,
before-
my grandbaby will only be 27. You know, like you can't lock him up and throw away the key.
I totally agree. And speaking of lock up and throw away the key, before you just joined us, we were talking about the case out of Texas, where the mom stabbed her 5 kids, 3 dead, 2 fighting for their life as of last check, and the mom is sitting behind bars on a $6 million bond.
Yeah, I covered that story.
Yeah, and it's not just the mom that has a history of that shit. Her twin sister
Whoa.
was accused of doing the same thing to one of her
Yep.
kids, and that bitch that stabbed her 5 kids also stabbed either her boyfriend or her sister's boyfriend before she killed her kids.
Yeah.
She's got a bad case of stabbing people. What's up?
And see, she wasn't supposed to be alone with those children or anything. And her mother, her mother had custody of the children, but the neighbors reported that her name is Shamaya Hall, and the neighbors reported that she had been there at the grandmother's house for quite a while, because just the day before they seen her walking the kids out to the bus stop, and the grandmother was not home, so she'd been alone with them for a while. So there's no telling what else she did to them before.
Here's the thing, is that the story in the paper said that DHS was alerted and they were going over there to do a welfare check because they had heard that she was having contact with the kids that she wasn't supposed to be having contact with. So they were literally standing right there with their thumbs up their ass while she's stabbing her kids, is what the paper made it sound like.
Yeah, it said that the worker knocked on the door, and she opened the door and slammed it and locked it and wouldn't let the kids in. So the worker was calling for an officer, or for officers to come help. And while she was calling them, she opened the door and walked right past the worker with blood all over her hands.
Just absolutely crazy. I mean,
yeah,
another failure of the system, really. I mean, because had they been doing checks like they were supposed to, routine checks, that wouldn't have happened. She wouldn't have been in contact with those kids for as long as she was.
Yep. Yeah.
Honestly, I want to thank Avery for bringing that story to my attention, because when I first heard about it, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, this is another one of those cases of if I can't have my kids, no one can.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about it that way, but you're right. But what I want to know.
All right, okay. Think about this. You're being visited by CPS, 1. 2, you're not supposed to have unsupervised visits without your kid. with your kids.
Right.
So,
and what did she do?
Why would your next reaction be to stab your children to death?
Yep. And I wonder what she did to lose them. Had to have been pretty bad.
Oh, I guess stabbing your boyfriend or your sister's boyfriend would have been a pretty good start to that.
Yeah, true.
There it is. There it is. I've also had another disturbing case earlier in the week. Woman's on trial in Ohio right now. Eaton, Ohio. She changed her plea to guilty to drowning her 93-year-old grandmother in a
Holy
kitchen sink.
cow.
And
Holy
she
cow.
said she wanted the woman to quote unquote be at rest.
Wow.
And that's all because she had severe panic attacks. The grandmother.
Wow. It's like a whole, like, you know how it's just, when it comes to true crime, like it's super hard when it's kids. But then also when it's like elderly, that almost hits like just as hard as children.
That's
As
the reason. That's the reason why we get in. That's the reason why we're into it. So it's all about those who can't protect themselves.
right. Dang, I can't believe she did that to her 93-year-old grandmother.
Me either.
So she
And
so she
I mean,
pled guilty. What sentence did she get?
she already, she hasn't been sentenced yet, but that's coming. In fact, that's supposed to be 1 week from the day I reported it. Hang on, let me see if I can pull it up on my videos tab. Okay, hang on. Okay, I am going to share the screen in regard to that particular. Hold on. What we got going here? Oh, we lost Avery. Dang it. An Ohio woman who told police she intentionally drowned her grandmother in the kitchen sink so the elderly woman could be at rest has pleaded guilty to murder. After pleading not guilty to the murder charge late last year, Heidi Matheny changed her plea last Friday to guilty. On the day before the November 15th, 2022 killing, 35-year-old Matheny explained to detectives that doctors had recommended she put her grandmother into a nursing home, but she couldn't afford the cost. The next day, after she and the victim, Alice Matheny, ate ice cream, she told police she snuck up behind the 93-year-old while the victim was washing dishes and held her head in the kitchen sink until the bubbles stopped at the victim's Eaton, Ohio apartment. I just lost my beep, Matheny said. It's nothing that she did. She's a perfect freaking grandma. Matheny told detectives her grandmother suffered from daily panic attacks, so she wanted the woman to be at rest. Following the killing, Matheny said she escaped through a window because she didn't want the neighbors to see her. Matheny turned herself in 2 hours later. Her attorney, Gracita Hubler, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Matheny will be sentenced March 15th, 1 week from today.
A woman who admitted to drowning her grandmother in Preble County last November has changed her plea. Heidi Matheny pleaded guilty this morning on a murder charge for the death of 93-year-old Alice Matheny. Body camera footage showed the moment that Matheny walked into the Preble County Sheriff's Office and admitted to the drowning. She had previously pleaded not guilty, and a competency hearing was ordered. Matheny was found competent to stand trial in January. Matheny will be sentenced March 15th at 1 p.m.
Hey guys, this is The Last Outlaw. Now, I lost my two guests, Arctic Fox and Avery Shannon, but hopefully we'll get them back. But all I can say is that all I can say is, who does that? Who in their right mind does that? These are the kind of cases that make you want to take a mental health break. Fox is back. What's good, bro?
Dang internet connection. But yeah, you're right. It's the type of cases that make you have to take a break and just step back from it.
Yeah. I mean that last one that one that I reported. I mean, again, it still leaves me asking. Even, I mean, sure, she changed her plea to guilty, but still, you got to ask yourself, who does that? I get it. She's 93 years old. I get it. I get it. She's 93 years old. I get it. She suffers from panic attacks. I get the fact that they told her to they said that put her in a nursing home, and they can't afford the cost for one. I get all that. Yet and still, you drown her in the kitchen sink.
Let me tell you something. I took care of both my dad and my grandmother when they had Alzheimer's disease. And it gets frustrating to care for someone, especially when their memory is failing like that. But not once in a million years did the thought they'll just be better off if I go shove them in the bathtub and drown them. That never crossed my mind. Not one time. I mean, what the hell's wrong with people?
That's great. Yeah, that's a crazy story.
When you guys figure out what her deal is, let me know. Because I don't.
Sounds like her mother should have shoved her back in, and then Grandma would still be alive.
Yeah.
Arctic.
Oh my God.
I almost said something I really shouldn't have said, but Lordy.
Speak your piece, Avery. I mean, like I said, this is part of mental health break. You can let everything get on your mind, let loose.
When Arctic said her mama should have shoved her back in, I thought to myself, "Yep, that one should have been aborted." Wrong.
Wow. As funny as that is, I gotta agree to a degree. At least the grandmother would have been alive then.
That's right. I can't believe I even thought that. You know how sometimes you just think things and then you're like, oh my God, why did I just think that? Like, but I guess you can't help what your brain thinks.
We try.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna hop back down so I can finish doing some editing and try to get rid of this headache I got going on here. But I appreciate you guys joining me up.
Of course, I'm glad to have you. Would love to have you back here in the future, just like this.
Yes. Whenever I see you, if I see you go live, then and I always come, but I don't always get notified. I think I'm subscribed to too many channels, and so notifications get lost.
Yeah. Well. Again, I'm glad to have you. I'm gonna keep looking around for your lives as well. Well, and I'll be there. I'll be on there when I can,
Okay.
and on usually on days that I have off from work and the weekends.
Alrighty. Well, I will talk to you gentlemen later.
All right. Good
Bye.
hearing from you.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon. If you haven't subscribed to her, it's I believe it's what, Murder Candy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Murder Candy. Andy. It's all on YouTube. Give her a like and subscribe. Check her out. She has a lot of great content as far as true crime is concerned. Ay. Also, a cold case has now been solved. A gentleman out of Washington, Indiana, has been arrested in connection with a 33-year-old murder case out of Georgia. Guy goes by the name of Larry Paget. He was arrested for the murder of. Give me a second. The name is going to come to me. Mary Wilfong. That's the victim's name. Mary Wilfong, who was raped and strangled. To death, and now 33 years later, he's arrested and charged with her murder.
About damn time.
Agreed. Oh my gosh. That's something that's something you always hope for. You always hope for it. When it finally happens, you say, okay, now it's time for next steps. Let's get the justice this person is due. You know?
And we're going to start seeing a lot more of these cases that have been cold for so long getting solved and people getting arrested and getting the justice with all the DNA testing that's out there. That's why I say everyone in this country should submit their DNA to GEDmatch, because that's what caught the Golden State Killer. That's what identified the boy in the box. I mean, so many of these cases could be solved if people would just submit their DNA.
I agree. Absolutely. Oh boy. I've been on different live streams on this one case, and I never in my wildest dreams thought it would happen, but somebody has replaced Casey Anthony as the most hated woman in America.
Who?
Letitia Stott. If I'm pronouncing her last name.
Yeah, Letitia. Yeah.
Yeah. The new most hated woman in America. And I thought it would be hard to replace Casey Anthony with that title. But surprise. Now she's about to stand trial for Gannon's murder, child abuse. I watched the interview with her, and with her back to the camera, and I could not stand her.
Oh, I can't say anything good about her. I don't know if she's going to ever take the top spot away from Casey Anthony or not, but
I think she already has. I think
I
she
can't
already has, and that's hard to do.
I can't stand her. And to think that this really, I mean, obviously she had thought that she didn't want to be a stepmother for quite some time, but what triggered it that day was just because of a burned carpet. I mean, seriously, you're gonna
That's
kill
what
your
I'm
step.
saying.
I mean, wow.
Over a burnt carpet? Come on, man. Oh, it's the reason. It's the reason why I did that rant. I believe it was last week or the week before about the difference between parents and monsters. Parents have one job, yet there's so many little entities within that one job. If you're
Yeah,
not doing anything,
where the wind blows. It was he had spilled candle wax and burned the carpet, and that's what triggered Letitia into her murderous rampage on this poor little innocent boy. And I still say that daughter has to know more than what is being said, because there's no way she missed the smell of Gannon decomposing in that U-Haul truck.
I agree with that statement just as sure as we're on daylight savings time now. She's basically doing one of my favorite Randy Savage promos. Almost. They ask her whatever. She's like, I'm not talking.
Well, I think she is cooperating with law enforcement, and I think when everything comes out, she may have cut a deal with them in order to not face charges, because by all rights, she's an accomplice in helping her mother hide Gannon's body. So
Absolutely. And where the wind blows says she probably knew better than to say anything. Well, if you know your Miranda rights, you know that anything she says can and will be used against her.
well, she may have also feared for her life at the hands of her mother, too. I mean, we've seen what she's capable of. So.
And she's only 17. Yeah. Only 17. Anyway, as far as Letitia goes, like I said, and it's hard to replace Casey Anthony as the most hated woman in America, but I believe Letitia Starch has done that. All I know is by the time her trial is over, and the moment she hears guilty, she should be buried under the prison step. They're gonna sign her too. So let's see. I haven't gotten an update on the Alec Baldwin Russ shooting situation as of yet. Have you?
I haven't. I mean, I just think it's absolutely ludicrous for them to have charged him with manslaughter in that case at all. I mean, he used a prop gun that the producers and the props guy were supposed to check to make sure it had blanks in it. And the person he shot is the one that told him to point the gun in that direction. So for him to be charged with manslaughter is absolute insanity to me.
The word I was going to use is asinine. It is. How do you do that? If anything, the military taught me with as far as with weapons goes, you check, you double check, you triple check. The last thing you want to have happen is for a fellow soldier to get shot on your accident because You didn't check your weapon clearly enough. You didn't make sure that there were any no ammunition was within the chamber. You're not oh, let's see where the wind blows says, but he owns it and pulled the trigger, and he's an experienced actor. That's that. I may agree with that where the wind blows, but that's what you have. You have prop people. You have prop people to check these weapons. Double check, triple check. Make sure that the blanks you're going to use on the set are blanks. Any live rounds, you're going to have a problem, and that's what's happening here. She says, "Yeah, cutting corners over safety." I'm putting that on the prop guy. If anybody's going to cut corners over safety, he shouldn't even be there as the prop guy. He may have hired whoever the prop guy was. He may have hired them, but it's still on that guy. It's still on that guy. Why? Why? He had but one job: making sure that the weapons used on the set had 0 live rounds. Everything used on the set were blanks. That was his job.
Well, it reminds me of the Twilight Zone helicopter crash that happened back in the early 80s that killed Vic Morrow and the 2 child actors. They tried the helicopter pilot, the special effects people. They took them to trial for manslaughter, and all of them ended up getting acquitted of those charges because it was deemed an accident that couldn't have been avoided. Which I don't think that the pilot should have been charged in that case. I do believe that the special effects people and the producer should have faced charges and should have been found guilty of manslaughter in those deaths, because had they not been using those explosives for that scene, that helicopter would not have crashed. But I don't think that the pilot should have faced any charges for that. It wasn't his fault.
I agree with that. I totally agree. Let's see. Where the Wind Blows wants to know what we think about the train derailments. That one is awfully suspicious to me. I mean,
one derailment I could have overlooked because shit happens.
right.
But we've seen a couple of them in a row, and that's not something that we typically see. So
That's a problem.
yeah.
That is a problem that needs to be handled. And I'm not even speaking on this on a political front. I'm speaking on this on the human front. Something's got to be done.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like our entire way of transportation has issues going on. You've got these people going missing from bus terminals left and right, or buses left and right, and then they can't take trains because the trains are derailing left and right. I mean, there's some massive issues going on that really need to be investigated.
Right. And where the wind blows again, she's asked, how in the world is this happening? How is it happening?
I'm not sure. I don't know if people are putting shit on the tracks, causing these trains to derail, or what. If that's the case, we need to probably put video cameras at every freaking railroad crossing in America, but you can't cover the entire rail system. That would get costly. So I don't know what the solution is.
I wish I had the answers myself, because if I did, I'd surely submit my thoughts over to those in charge.
I mean, I'm pretty sure part of the issue is probably aged rails and aged equipment on aged trains using the rails. That's usually part of the issue when we see major issues like this, is that the equipment and the rails are so damn old that it's causing derailments.
That is a great possibility. That is a great possibility. I guess all we can do now is wait and see what's occurring next. Now she's asking about the Mexico and Army issue.
I don't know about the Mexico Army issue. I do know about the 4 Americans that went over there. 2 got killed. One was brutally stabbed or hurt. Was in the hospital last I checked. And then that case got plenty of media coverage. But there's also 2 sisters and a friend that crossed over the Mexico border from Texas to go sell goods at a flea market. They're missing over there, and their case is getting next to no coverage.
That's crazy. That is just crazy. In fact, I thought about posting that one up myself, but I thought, nah, let me see how much coverage this is going to get, not just in the media, but within the community. And so far, the only one that I know of that's covering it is you, sir.
Burden of Proof covered it shortly after I put my video out. So she did do a live on it after I put my video out.
Oh, Burden of Proof. All right. There's somebody I may have to subscribe to. Let's see where the wind blows. We might take Army guys armed to Mexico to stop drug manufacturers. I'm really kind of torn on that one, because on the one side, on paper, it sounds like a great idea, but on the other side, the cartel is probably just about as armed as a lot of folks in our army. So
and it's sad the state that Mexico's got to, because I can remember when I was a little kid, which has been several years ago, but you used to be able to cross the Mexico border, take your vacations there, go get you some. My grandfather used to cross over there to get cheap drugs all the time because the medicine was so much cheaper over there. Never a problem. It's a routine deal. They'd drive over the Mexico border, go on vacation there, get cheap stuff there because everything's so much cheaper there. Now, you couldn't pay me enough money to take a vacation to Mexico.
And one good reason why in this particular case, where the wind blows, says that the cops in Mexico can't take them on. Or I won't say they can't. Me personally, I won't say they can't. They're probably too scared to, because, like I said, those guys are likely armed to the teeth.
Yeah.
And mainly talking about fentanyl. Yep. That's what the word is that they're trafficking in. And the U.S. Army wants to put a stop to that. I hope. Go ahead.
Something's going to have to be done. You know, fentanyl is by far become the most dangerous drug out there. It's more dangerous than methamphetamines. It's more dangerous than heroin because it takes such a small amount to kill someone, and they don't even have to be intentionally using the drug. If they pick up a dollar bill off the street that's got a small amount on it, they're dead.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. So, ladies and gentlemen, within the sounds of our voices, like they used to say on Hill Street Blues, let's be careful out there. While where the wind blows is agreeing with you, she mentions that there's a Canadian reporter who went over about an avocado, $1 billion industry. One cartel hired to take on another cartel. Yay! That's like they don't want one side or another cutting into their business. Nah, it's scary when it's scary when you see money on the ground. You naturally want to pick it up, but now you got to be cautious doing so.
Yeah, because there's been cases where people have literally purposely put fentanyl in money and left it on the ground for someone poor, unsuspecting person to pick it up.
Right.
That is batshit fucking crazy to me.
Absolutely. I don't know. I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't. No matter what the situation is, death by homicide, death by suicide, drugs. Sometimes I don't understand this world. I don't. I'm not trying to get back into politics for no reason at all, but a lot of what we're talking about is about to hit that realm, and I'm trying to play MC Hammer. You can't touch this. Oh my gosh. The only high spot I can talk about right now, at least on a totally different level. I've been watching the last 4 weeks of the Dwayne Johnson relaunched XFL, and I gotta admit, the last 4 weeks has been pure football bliss. I've enjoyed every game that has come across the pipe thus far.
I have not seen that at all.
Ooh, wee! You are missing it. I mean, there are some little tweaks to the rules, but you'll enjoy this. Like this. Check it out. On the kickoff, you got one team lined up on the 30. You got another team lined up on the 35. They can't move until the receiving team makes the catch and starts to advance, or the ball hits the ground. A little bit safer on the kickoff. After a touchdown is scored, this is another rule. You have 3 different options for extra points, and none of them involves kicking. You can go for 1 point from the 2-yard line. You can go for 2 points from the 5-yard line. Or you can go for 3 points from the 10. They've done up the rules for the final 2 minutes in each half, where the clock will keep going on every completion, every it's a lot to do to speed the game up. Yeah, it's simple, but it's complex at the same time. It's simple. Football is simple, but it's complex at the same time. But one other rule that's very interesting to me is in the fourth quarter. Your team's trailing, right? You have the option of trying an onside kick, which I've yet to see any team do this year, or they can go one shot to keep the ball on a very risky 4th and 15. See, you watch a lot of high school football. Oh, here's a suggestion: take what you've seen in high school, in a lot of the high school games. Take all the tweaks that I've mentioned and adapt it to that. That's the XFL. And on top of it, you can hear what plays are being called. You can hear what the penalties are going to be before the officials make it. But pretty much, like I said, that's the XFL rules wise in a nutshell. And that's been my weekends thus far with that organization, and they like I said, they have done a tremendous job over the last 4 weeks. We're about to hit the halfway mark come this coming week. Well, pretty much that's my mental health break for this week. We talked shop. We talked not necessarily. We talked outside of shop, and I think I need to do a lot more of these in the future.
I'm going to do a self-promoting plug. If y'all would come join us Wednesday at 4 Central Time over on Checking Convictions channel. We're going to be doing a think tank over on her channel, and I would love to have as many people there as possible.
And that's when again?
Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central.
4 p.m. Central. That's 3 o'clock hour. That's 3 o'clock my time here. I'll be sure to check that out. All right, and of course you can always follow Arctic Fox here on the channel. You can follow him on Facebook. He has a spot there. He's also on Twitter. Follow me.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I'm everywhere, but my TikTok and my Instagram don't get utilized nearly what they should. But my Twitter, I'm definitely there. And then obviously on YouTube and Facebook.
Got it. You got it.
No, this Wednesday where the wind blows. So not tomorrow, but the next day.
All right. So there we have it. This Wednesday with Checking Convictions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna wrap this up. I want to thank you all so much for joining us on our mental health break. And as I'm gonna close out with Arctic Fox signature line: be kind to one another. You know, it really helps out everybody else and yourself. It really helps out with your mental health, and helps somebody with their mental health as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Arctic Fox. Thank you, Avery Shannon. It's been a joy, and I will be back here soon. I'll say soon. I won't guarantee it's going to be next week, but I will be back here soon. Until then, you guys, you know what to do. Bite this. Hey guys, this is The Last Outlaw. I send you all a million thank yous for all the love and support of Bethea's Bite Reloaded. I know I've said this before, but it bears being repeated. Without you, this channel does not run. So again, a million times over, I thank you. I'd like you to do something for me. If you enjoyed this video, or you want to give your feedback on anything that was discussed or shown, I'd like you to do the following. Give the video a like. It helps to get the information out to everyone who may have information leading to getting justice for the victims and or bringing the missing home safe. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and let's join in this fight together. Be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified of future videos, live and pre-recorded. The real game changer is when you click the share button. Send this and videos like it all over your social media. The more eyes and ears on this channel, the better the chances of getting justice for the families of the victims and bringing the missing home. Of course you're going to have your say as well, so be sure to drop a comment. I just ask you to keep it clean and civil. Remember, we are about getting justice, not arguing over who's right or wrong in a debate. Don't forget to follow Bethea's Bite Reloaded all over social media. On Facebook, at Bethea's Bite Reloaded TC. On Twitter, at EKB316. On YouTube, at Bethea's Bite Reloaded, with and without the punctuation marks. On Instagram, at EB The Last Outlaw. On TikTok, at King of Hearts 316 2021. Email me at kingofhearts316_09 at outlook.com. Hit me up on the message forum at www.betheasbite.com. This is your home for news, opinions, debates, your voice, and justice served. This is Bethea's Bite, and it's reloaded.